My name is Ahmed Mahmoud. I grew up on a farm outside of Cairo. I still remember we had this little house and you climb on top of it and there's this farmland everywhere. The vast majority of people in Egypt do rely on agriculture, and that's the case in a lot of countries in the global south. I think finding a way to sustain the livelihoods of the people that feed us is something that should be at the top of everyone's mind. I am here representing WETech. We are an aquaculture technology startup based in Toronto, Canada. We focus on aquaculture because it is the fastest growing food production sector in the world. Pound for pound, it is bigger than beef production. In a couple of years, it'll produce more seafood than wild capture. It also guarantees the livelihoods and the food security of millions of smallholder fish farmers in Southeast Asia and beyond. And yet, there's been very little innovation taking place in the technology sector thinking about that area. The most important aspect of water quality management is dissolved oxygen management. Without oxygen, your fish won't grow or they'll die or they're more liable to contract disease. This is why we developed the WERLWind. The WERLWind is a passive wind-powered aeration system that consists of a wind turbine connected via a shaft to an impeller underwater. As the wind blows, it spins the turbine, it spins the impeller, and it pushes the oxygen-rich water down to the bottom, thereby creating a more even dissolved oxygen environment in the pond. It is a much more affordable substitute for mechanical aerators. These are the only option that farmers have right now. We went to Bangladesh. We installed numerous instruments there. We've had those instruments running for years now. We found that it's very effective even at very low wind speeds. The 2018 ISHOW was an eye-opening experience for us because it was the first time we actually pitched our idea to people who were asking the right questions. And even though we came in thinking that we had all the answers, there were a lot of blind spots.
Everyone goes through that. I think what you got to think about is say, okay, then you take a deep breath and you say, okay, what do I have? What are the cards I have to play with? Where am I trying to go? What are the steps I can take to make progress?
We spent the year thinking about how can we retool that business model? How can we form the partnerships we need in order to get the device in farmers' hands in a way that is sustainable, in a way that is scalable. When we came back in 2019, we realized that there was still quite a bit that we haven't figured out. And so at ISHOW, we were pressed on questions regarding manufacturing and how do we make sure that the 100th or the 1000th unit is exactly the same as the first, because that plays into consumer trust and plays into reliability and aspects that we haven't really considered and which are extremely complicated when you're thinking about doing it in Bangladesh or Vietnam or Indonesia, some of our target markets. One of the most valuable discussions I've had was regarding the business model and how do we scale up and how do we produce enough cash flow and enough of a revenue stream to create a 2 to 3 to 5 year runway. The ISHOW award was a huge boost to our credibility. And in fact, we went to Indonesia a month after winning ISHOW and we were able to secure a €100,000 grant there. Since then, we've been trying to cement some partnerships with organizations like World Fish, who we hope that we will be doing a randomized control trial with next year. I'm very much attuned to the fact that farmers are the ones that feed us, and yet they get a small share of the pie. So it really drives what I do and how I think about the world. If and when we can get this device in farmers' hands, we can vastly improve their livelihoods and their ability to earn a livable income.